Welcome back to The Short Coat, coming to you from the amazing and intense world of med school at the University of Iowa, Carver College of Medicine. I'm Dave Etler, and on today's show, we're talking about leadership in med school. And if you're not in med school right now, you might be thinking, wait, isn't med school about protein and organ systems and social determinants of health? Isn't that enough? It's all this crap about leadership. Am I right, Zach?
Apparently, you just have to keep doing things. Yeah.
Yeah, you just do them.
Never ends.
Yeah.
Until
you retire or die.
Until you die.
I'm joined today by my co-host who will lead us through the discussion with the sort of energy, steadiness, aplomb, and insight that any good leader possesses, including M2's Zach Grissom.
Right.
We've got Sarah Upton.
Yo.
We've got Chase Larsson.
Hey.
And we've got Megan Perry.
Hello.
So close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Think about this. How many leadership positions do you have right now? Between interest groups, school-specific roles, other clubs, outside organizations. So hold up fingers for how many. And keep them up.
Oh, sorry. Eyes closed still?
Okay, so we've got a good range. Now you can open your eyes.
Good. Golly.
We're gonna put one of those down, I think.
I that's a lot. I feel like so the lowest was 2 and the highest was like 7.
We're gonna go with 5. I lost count on what I had counted,
Okay.
and so I had 6 for a little bit, but we're gonna go with 5.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't sure what qualified. So I was only counting things where I have a very heavy leadership role, but I'm involved in more than 2 things. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Makes
for
sense to
sure.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a couple more up.
Yeah. That's a lot, you guys. How do you? Is there a point where it's too much?
Yeah.
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 I mean, when?
Yeah.
Stupidest question I've ever asked. No, absolutely not. Keep piling up. Is there a moment where recently where you've been like, I don't know, is this too much for me in my life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wednesday I had a thing for one group. Saturday I have a thing for another group. Tuesday I have a thing for another group, and then the next Tuesday I have another thing. Yeah.
What's the one you have on Monday?
On Tuesday?
This coming Monday, the 11th, or is that Tuesday?
That's in 2 weeks.
That would be.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Also that one. That's where the 6th one was. Yep.
Yeah.
That was the 6th one.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
So yeah, it's been recently, like right now.
You know what? Outside of
Yeah.
school, you better have had being a parent on. Also, I just want to
Oh.
get things.
Yeah.
You're a leader there.
you're
so.
a leader.
He's
Oh,
actually at 8. He's at 8 at this point.
right. Oh yeah. And let's not talk about like how late I sent you my producer notes for this on Wednesday night instead of doing school.
That was pretty sweet. When do you start to think is this too much?
I think it's one of those things that just hits you out of nowhere and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in over my head and probably shouldn't have gotten here, but here I am.
Yeah.
At least that's how it goes for me usually.
Yeah. For me, it was M1. I was in these groups, and I didn't have a leadership role or anything. And then kind of start of M2 year when they were like, okay, we need to start planning events, and then it was 3 or 4 different things we were trying to plan for different groups all at once. And I realized that I actually had to do it. It wasn't just someone telling me to be like, oh yeah, it's
Theoretical
It's
thing.
Wednesday. It's next Wednesday. M2, when you actually take on the leadership roles is when it's I may have overdone this a little bit.
Do you think I would I feel like the 18-month preclinical curriculum is kind of hard for leadership roles because by the time you're ready to start taking these things on, you're most of the way through the period when you could take these things on.
Yeah. Yeah. Like something that Sarah and I experienced was taking over a specialty interest group where we didn't have someone that stayed on after leaving. And then we were doing some events in the spring with an 18-month one. It was just our immediate classmates. And now we need to try to find a way to hand it off to a new group of first years who have only been here for, you can still count it by weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chase and I are in a group that's having the same problem. I think we've had maybe a couple M1s show up to like one event.
like one M1.
And I'm like, dang, what's really going to happen when we go to clinicals? I don't know. So I'm hoping that maybe as people get more into the swing of school.
I can sense it happening.
Yeah.
We've gotten more M1s on the show recently and signing up.
Okay.
So I don't know. Light at the end of the M1 pipeline
Yeah.
to student org.
What's really interesting, and I don't say this in like a critical or like mean way, but something that I feel like I've noticed from our new M1 class is they are, I don't want to say like they don't get involved in things because that's not true, but it's like they've been a little bit more hesitant to join in on things.
Either our events suck or they just don't want to go
maybe
to
it's
them.
us. Maybe it's us.
That's a really hard thing because like
Or we're just super. I think our class is
considered
also
that.
super.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah,
go. Let's
yeah.
do this.
okay,
And so
I'm going to push back on this because I remember I think it was last year in a OSAC meeting being like, "Hey, are these guys kind of quiet?"
That's so
Okay.
crazy.
I think you guys are
That is
just
Okay.
crazy.
I think you guys are just I think it just takes
We're
time.
biased.
Yeah, we're on the other
Yeah.
side
Yeah.
now.
Feeling
Yeah.
your
Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If you could show a pre-med a picture of your calendar right now, what do you think if you could show yourself as a pre-med a picture of your calendar, what would you what do you think your reaction would be?
I like thrive under being extraordinarily busy. So I wouldn't say that it's any more things. It's just different, I would say. Like different in terms of like responsibilities and what is required, what isn't required. But I would say that I do this to myself. I've been doing this to myself.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh.
Well, that's a good point. Like, why? Or why are you doing it? Is it a passion? Is it pressure? Is it somebody's got to do it?
I can't say no. No, I don't know. I think it's definitely interest. Like I think, especially once you get more, or at least in my experience, once you get more comfortable with being here, like, getting to know people, you just kind of like find your spot, and you're like, oh, I'm really interested in this, and all of a sudden, you're kind of involved with it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I want to be on leadership, or like I know I applied for a couple of positions, not necessarily knowing which one I would get. And then you kind of end up with I ended up on a couple of leadership boards, which is totally fine. But it was just kind of like we'll apply and see what happens. And then now we're here.
Yeah. So sometimes you go into it with the same mindset of like, maybe for people who applied to multiple schools and like colleges, and then you get into one or a few, and then you pick one and you do that one. And then you get into, or you apply to like tons of medical schools, and then you get into a couple and you pick one, and then you apply to a bunch of orgs or interest groups, and then they all say, good, you're on it, now do this, and you're like, wait, I thought I got a choice still or something.
Yeah.
and we haven't learned to say no better.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are you guys doing? We've talked. What roles? I want to know. I want to know all the roles.
Yeah, Zach.
So I started a group like on my pre-M1 summer a little bit that means a lot to me for just kind of what I would like the future goals in health and medicine to be, but it's Students for a National Health Program. So starting a chapter here. And then I was looking at interest group ones to get involved with, because it's like one of our actual curriculum to-dos is to join an interest group, like on leadership is like one of the options of things to do. So the EM interest group, like I never saw anything for that in the fall, and then I applied to the OB one, and then they took all of us that applied on it. We have started a Walk with the Doc chapter.
Yeah.
And then we are adding kind of a student org side to the podcast as well. And then I have a role in our learning communities as like advocacy chair. So, yeah.
Chase.
Gosh, I'm trying to think. Like I was like trying to think towards the end of years, and I'm like kind of forgetting, honestly. But like, Megan kind of spearheaded a new thing that we had for part of it was for a math project last year.
Medicine Society.
Yeah.
class.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was something that she was involved with in undergrad. So I'll let her talk about it a little bit more. But it's SODA, which
Soda.
if you know the meme.
I don't.
I don't know maybe either. So.
It's all right. It's all right. But it's student organ donor advocates, which something I'm pretty passionate about, something I've had experience with. So something that I was super interested in. I'm on the board for MSDCI, which is Medical Students with Disability and Chronic Illness, which is kind of a mouthful, but again, something I'm super passionate about, something that personally affects me. So something I am really, really passionate about. And then for some reason, I can't think of the third one right now.
Grand Rounds?
Also,
I am on Ground Rounds. I am on the Grand Rounds committee, but there's one more, and I can't think of it. It's there somewhere. It's just slipping me right now.
If it comes to mind, let me know.
Yeah.
Megan?
I'm realizing now that my number was way off. And I definitely forgot about a lot of things. So Student Organ Donation Advocates is the one that I started last semester and brought to the school, and that's also something I'm really passionate about, have a lot of experience in. And then I'm involved in student government. Last year I was the M1 class representative. This year I'm the M2 class representative. What else? This one I originally said no. So I'm in this, it's a opportunities information networking, in cancer group. So it's a interest group for people interested in oncology. And they asked me last year if I wanted to be on the exec board for the next year. And I was like, no, I have too much on my plate. And then I've just continued to take things on with the group to the point that now I'm in the exec chat and editing the newsletter. And so that's basically one, even though I don't technically have a title for that. And then the global health group I'm involved in, we're starting a writing group for narrative medicine. So that's in the works as well. That's all I got off the top of my head. But yeah.
way more than 2.
Yeah.
Sarah?
So I'm now I'm forgetting, now that I'm put on the spot. So the OBGYN interest group, / also known as Leopold Society, one of the executives. Anyway, I'm on the chair, or on the board. So we do something that I'm very passionate about. I'm very interested in going into somewhere in women and children's health. So that obviously deals with OB-GYN, women's health, that kind of stuff. So that was really important to me to get involved with. And then also, again, helping with the Short Coat, kind of the student org side of the Short Coat podcast. That's been a lot of fun. That was actually kind of my surprise one that I didn't know I would get involved with, but it has been a lot of fun.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
I hear it's a pretty good thing to get involved with.
10 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah.
And then I'm also wellness / social / activities chair for our learning communities. For just the Flocks learning community.
To be fair, those 3 duties are shared by 3 people.
Yes,
well.
correct.
Yeah.
I'm I should specify I'm a co-chair.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. So we plan activities, wellness, that kind of stuff.
What's your favorite one?
That's a good question. No, I'm just getting Short Coat. No.
I don't know. Have to be the Short Coat. It's fine.
I would say that I like them all for different reasons. I know that's such a piece.
It is very
answer.
She's media trained.
I am. I'm ready. Let's go. No, they're a lot of fun because I work with different people in all of them, and so I think it's nice to be able to do different things. I feel like some of what I do is a little different. And in each one, my role is different, so I like it for different reasons.
I feel like I love soda because it's, my baby kind of that I've been doing for so long. And that's been really fun to introduce to a new place and all of that. But then I also love student government because I kind of came in as the baby. In student government, I was the little M1 that just joined, and I got to meet all these upperclassmen and get to know them and feel like I was making an impact for my class. So that was fun for different reasons. So I agree. There's different things that all of them kind of bring to the experience.
Yeah. I think I'm really gonna like the longitudinal, being able to keep doing stuff with the Walk with a Doc program, because it's something that I think is going to be more personally rejuvenating to participate in. It's relatively low amount of planning and things like that compared to other stuff. You're not as reliant on other people and your message and everything is like much simpler to get across, and so you can feel like you're doing something with it, which sometimes other stuff is like much harder to like feel like what you're putting out is actually getting reciprocated by the universe or whatever.
Sure.
No, I don't have a favorite. No, I don't. I mean, I've only gotten involved in things that I care about, which is, I mean, good advice to not overextend yourself. Like, don't do things just because like you think it'll look good, obviously. But
we're not big fans of that.
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
What? So have you? I think for me, I was at once upon a time, I was a manager of people.
I'm so sorry.
I was a training and safety coordinator at UMass Transit. And I stopped that to come to Iowa. And I didn't think to myself, you know what? I should really continue this career path because as much as I liked working with the people I worked with, I also was constantly annoyed by, sick calls, the disciplinary issues, the crappy parts of leadership.
I think it can just be really frustrating when like you feel like your efforts are not reciprocated, and maybe not like but like when you do something and you get like this whole thing planned out, and then it just does not turn out quite like you think it's going to, and like like you put on you think it's going to be like a really great event, and then like only four people show up, and then you're like, all right, well,
I know that's the other thing. That's the other thing is like I planned this party and nobody came.
Exactly.
Kind of scariness.
That one kind of, I mean, at a certain point you have to just be like, all right, well, we did what we can do, and like you can't force people to come because it's like, but it can definitely sting a little bit in the moment. You're like, okay, well, we planned this whole thing and there's 5 people here, so
you could force them to come.
You could, but I don't.
What do you mean you could force them to come?
Not
Tell me about
this. No, I don't.
Dave will talk after.
I would just say that at least like my undergrad experience with certain like leadership things, I felt like just people who were also on the team maybe weren't as invested or like didn't have the same commitment. And here I've had a very different experience where I'll be like, oh, I need help with this. And there's like 5 people in the Soda group chat like, oh my gosh, I'll help with that. And I'm like, wow, you all are rock stars and so amazing. And they're like doing all of these things. And so I've really enjoyed like working with a team that's like also very committed to and passionate about the things that you are. I think that's been really, really fun. And a really good way to like also just get to know classmates.
Yeah.
It feels really rewarding that way.
Yeah. I think something that's been nice is kind of the different people then are in other groups that I run. So like you're meeting, like you said, like other people and getting a better appreciation for like your whole class.
Yeah. I mean, on the plus side, like all of these interest groups exist because people are interested in them. And so like the people who show up, they're going to participate because that's what they want to do, as opposed to other things in our lives where, maybe people don't really want to show up to the driver's meeting at 7:30 p.m. Thursday. When you think about your career plan, is that part? I mean, that's obviously part of it too. I mean, I think people see doctors as leaders because they are within the health system. Is that part of it too? Or do you not really think about that while you're planning your activities?
I think, unfortunately, and I've tried to share this with the some small group facilitating that I've done with the M1 class already, is appreciating the things that you have already accomplished. Because I felt the moment, like soon after starting medical school, then I already had this thought in my head of like, okay, well now I need to start looking at how I'm going to build an application for residency. And before I got into medical school, while I had already accomplished an associate's and was working on a bachelor's, it was like, okay, how do I build the application for medical school? And before then, how do I build my career to be able to start college? And before that, like, you're just always thinking about that next one. So like that is real. Like, people are going to find or try to do something, I think.
That looks impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
comes
think it's
time to
impossible
apply for,
to avoid that.
I'm a part of different groups that I don't have leadership roles for, and I think that is also valuable. But like, there's definitely value in like being on a leadership board and being able to add that to an application. And again, that's not the reason I'm doing it. Like I said, I care about the things that I do, but it definitely will help on applications, I'd like to think.
Yeah, 'cause I'll tell you, like, one of the things
Knock on wood, I don't know.
one of the things we suggest, like, when we write your MSPs, when Audra and I do your MSPs, one of the things we ask you about is, well, what leadership positions? We ask about your leadership, your research, your teaching. What am I missing? Service activities. And so, yeah, there's I guess that's a form of, although you don't encounter it until you're in four, but it's kind of a form of pressure. Like, all right, what are you doing in these areas?
Yeah.
What are you
Right,
doing?
right,
Make your, application worthwhile.
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I will say is not necessarily directly related, but in terms of like also building your application, some advice that I heard last year from an M4 who I think had just matched. I don't remember exactly what specialty, but she said her advice was to like make like a spreadsheet of all the things that you do and like do it starting M1 year.
Yeah.
I unfortunately didn't follow her advice, and that's why I can't remember all of the leadership positions. It's so like keeping a list of like the things that you have done not only will help you with your application, but I think also is like a good reminder of like when you open it up and you're like, oh, I'm actually not a schmuck. Like I'm I've actually done, more than I thought I've
member
done.
of society.
Yeah, right. Like I think it's a good reminder along the path as well that like school is hard and like, but look at all the other things that I've done in addition to school at the same time. I think it's a nice reminder as well.
Mine is a Word doc. That was an experience like before my past career was it said like make your brag sheet because we aren't going to remember like come your annual evaluation what all you've done.
Yeah.
So have something to show us. And so like I started one and like I've got different headers for different groups and just try to like every now and then go in and like add stuff.
How specific are you on those? I'm curious.
It depends. Like I will admit I have like kept track of episodes of the podcast
Okay, so you do include like events and like
for that and then like different
You just go to the
roles
website and
if
search
we
your name.
yeah well okay but that is how I do find it or whatever to like double check anyway and then other ones it'll be like by event or like what we did with something if there was like another thing that we accomplished or felt like we did. So
It's such good advice, and like it's keeping that Word document or spreadsheet or however you want to do it. I was contemplating the other day, like, what would I do if I had to come up with a CV or a resume? I'm like, I've been here almost 24 years. And I've had a variety of roles and jobs and things that I've done, and I didn't write down any of them.
Yeah, I just met with a M4 for like a little mentorship meeting, and that was one of his biggest pieces of advice too. And I think with that, he really recommended like just like journaling with it too, like adding a little bit of like, why was that impactful for you? Like that kind of thing too. Especially like you can even do, he said, like when you start your clinical rotations, like what like did you remember about this like rotation that like made it really important to you? What's like a valuable patient experience that you had? Like so that when it comes time for you to like talk about those things in the future, like you had all of those experiences. So just refresh yourself on.
Buried somewhere on an old computer is a spreadsheet of my shadowing like days. And I like made some notes and like if anyone from there listens, yes, I did ask all of the nurses what their opinions were on different like aspects of a physician and stuff during times like down times.
Question.
Yeah. So like what for what they felt someone in that role should be like, or when an interesting case had come through.
Yeah.
Don't remember like where that spreadsheet is, but I did write it down.
It's
It's there
Somewhere.
somewhere. Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with taking notes is that I don't know where I put it. I guess I could take notes on where I put my notes.
I've been doing a notes app in my phone so that I have it on me, which I theoretically thought would make it more consistent for me to like go at and use to it. But alas, it's been like months will go by and I'll be like, oh, what have I like done recently? And then I don't know. I do my best. But
Hard.
yeah.
So you guys are about to go into your clinical years.
Yeah.
And I guess the question I should ask first is, what are you going to keep?
Yeah.
And what are you going to let go of? Can you do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because my perception of you guys when you go off to clinical years is you basically vanish.
Never to be seen again.
Essentially.
And to hear you guys go, oh yeah, I got plenty of time. I can do all of, like I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
I know. Somebody take a picture of Audra, please.
Hold on. Sorry, my phone can't recognize me. Okay.
Is that
the she's going to be the
thumbnail?
Saint podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Oh wait. I never seen it undo that.
So what are you gonna are you gonna
Want me to
let
send
go
them
of
to you?
any? You're gonna keep some?
I mean, we're starting for a couple of my groups. Like one of them, we have our leadership application out right now to try and pull first years or anyone in that wants or thinks that they can contribute some. We're going to release the one for the OB-GYN interest group soon, like basically during our next event on Tuesday. And so depending on like how much people take that on will depend on how much we hand off and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Learning communities are already voting for new people, so that's like something that actively turns over. So that'll be one that will be given up. Yeah.
And I think just maybe my role in certain things just might change a little bit. Like maybe not doing the same exact thing that I'm doing right now, but still being involved in some way.
for sure.
I think the one thing that's great about leadership positions is that nobody wants them, and so you can basically keep the learning. You can keep contributing because people will be like, "Yeah, absolutely, I'd love to have you." Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry.
I was just gonna say it can be hard to sit and like that was my experience with turning over and handing off some stuff at the end of my like past career was like not knowing if that thing was going to continue being cared about or done if it's not an outright requirement or like a long-term goal that I had that was not going to get realized.
That is the hardest part about student orgs is something that somebody feels passionate about. Basically, they move on to other things, and now you've got to sort of hope that somebody else feels the same way.
In the past, it was easier to ultimately let it go because by the end of the month, I no longer had a job or like access to the place to do it, so I had to leave. But yeah,
fair enough. Oh, crap! I forgot to load the listener question.
Dave, has anyone ever told you that you have a good podcasting voice?
Not a one.
Really?
Not
really?
Not in 15
Not
years.
Well, I think you have a great podcasting voice, honestly.
Thank you. I have been told.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I was like, I feel like I've heard you say that.
There's no way.
I have a listener question from Evan. He's a first year at UConn who's juggling responsibilities. I feel like this is the crowd to talk about this with. Let's hear from Evan.
Hi, Dave and friends. I'm a first-year medical student at UConn and the proud parent of a rambunctious toddler. While I've been able to keep up with the workload for the most part, I still struggle to balance fatherhood, being a husband, and schoolwork. I'd love to hear how the students at Carver manage everything. Love the show. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Evan. Good luck. Man.
We're praying for you.
Parenting in med school. Some of us know something about that.
I want to hear from you three first.
Oh, brother.
Family responsibilities, like if you have a nuclear family that you're responsible for, there's family responsibilities outside of your nuclear family. got to go shopping. You got to go.
There's livestock
There's-
responsibilities.
There sure is. Lots of animals.
Get your oil changed.
Just your oil change.
Car responsibilities.
House responsibilities.
Dentist.
Mm-hmm.
I had to change the battery on my car the other day in the middle of the day. They wouldn't change it for me because it's in the trunk because it's a Prius.
Really?
Yeah,
Aw.
yeah. Yep. Had to do it in a slacks and a tie and everything.
I mean, do you just is it just vibes?
Yes, I was gonna say I'm also maybe a terrible person to say this, but you just make it work. I don't. Same thing, honestly, with being a part of a lot of things. You just figure it out. Don't stress about will it work. Just do what you love, and it'll work out. You will find time to do things that are important to you. Is what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
This word balance, I've come to. Not revile, because I understand it's an easy way to express the problem is this work-life balance thing, but I really think it would be better off a work-life accommodation. In an ideal world, they sort of accommodate each other.
Yeah.
Sort of fit
no
around
balance.
each other.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not separate and discrete, just like Coralville and Iowa City are not separate and discrete.
Right.
They're interwoven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
remember thinking about, in particular, this
Chinese
article. This article I read, this opinion piece I read about a physician. Was sort of spent her days at work focusing on her patient, and then she didn't realize that her kid was at a school where there was a school shooting because she was so focused on her patient, she just wasn't getting the messages from her kid. That's kind of an extreme case, but I think what she was advocating for was you can't shut everything out to focus on one thing. We're always connected to the rest of our lives ideally, and sometimes like I said, it's an accommodation. In that case, she would have been like, patients, I'm taking care of this thing.
Valid response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll push back and I'll say that it's also hard to do everything. So at the same time, yes, you can't just do one thing, but you can't blame yourself if you can't do everything either.
Yeah.
There's kind of two sides of the coin.
That's why I say it's an accommodation.
Yeah.
You sometimes the other things have to go.
Yeah.
While you focus
Temporarily,
on temporarily or maybe even permanently.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. And I think each week kind of looks a little different depending what's going on. When
Mm-hmm.
it's an exam week, school takes the forefront, that kind of thing. After that, is kind of when I maybe pick up some of my extracurriculars or I'm in a long distance relationship. So I consider one of my responsibilities traveling to see my significant other and finding time that way. So
how far away?
He's in California.
Okay. So pretty far.
Pretty far.
Yep.
So just I think being able to pick and choose okay, where can I really set aside a weekend to go do that, and then when I'm there be very dedicated to that time, and then how can I make up for that in other ways, where can I put in more time during the week to do that? And I think that's really different obviously than people who have partners at home or are living with kids that you go home to them, and that responsibility is day by day, but so mine is a little bit different I think in that sense, but that's kind of how I try to manage it, at least with the long distance type responsibility.
I could not. And the reason I could not do a long distance relationship is because I hate phones. I cannot speak on the phone, even with people I love dearly, because I don't know what it is. There's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Where I don't like using the phone.
I'm the same way. I used to, when I started my college, my girlfriend, she only lived, 30 minutes away because I went to school in Cedar Rapids, but she'd still want to talk on the phone every night. And, I love her to death. We've been dating for 6 years at this point. So I love her to death, but the phone conversations, it doesn't work for me.
It's hard.
It really does.
It is hard.
It doesn't work for me. I can't do it. I lose focus. I lose focus.
Yeah.
And then
3 minutes in, I'm like, so,
Talk to you later.
gotta go.
exactly.
I feel
Just
they work really well when a few days have gone by and things have happened.
You
and
can have
yeah,
catch up on.
there's a lot of stuff. Or what's been working really well for us lately is he'll call on his way home from work. It's probably a 10-minute drive for him. So we have 10 minutes every night, and I try to step aside from whatever I'm doing and answer the phone for that chunk of time. And then if we have more to talk about later, we'll FaceTime later and like or watch a movie or do whatever for that. But then like if that's our 10 minutes for the day, that's our 10 minutes, and that's great. So
I got made fun of for my long distance solution, but I was impaired by the technology of my time. We sent emails back and forth, basically.
I love
Sure.
What was that? Because like I didn't have access to a phone to be able to call.
How old are you?
No, it was fully because I was on a ship.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And the internet was so terrible. Like maybe if I stayed up super late at night, I could get mobile Facebook Messenger like to load on a desktop to
Fancy.
do that to like instant message. Otherwise, it was like send the email. It'll go out in the next 24 hours probably, and then I'll eventually get a reply back. So that was the better solution to like do some stuff and whatever.
we did a period of time of letters only. So like because he wasn't allowed to have any form of technology for
Yeah.
work.
Well, prison is
So-
hard like that.
Oh no!
Gotta sneak the phone in.
Sneak the phone in.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone's gonna think I'm dating an inmate, and it's okay.
Hey, we're not here to judge.
As long as he never hears this, it's all good.
It's fine. I'll tell him not to listen.
Inmates deserve love.
Yeah. Honestly, he would agree
And
that he
phones.
was an inmate during that time. It was an intense time, but
Yeah, I think, obviously when I talk about accommodation, there are responsibilities that maybe you can't take a step back from. I'm thinking like, being a father.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a hard one to say, well, I'm busy. Raise yourself.
Yeah. It has been tough, and the sort of solution that we have fallen into, me and my spouse, we started using after school program at their school. Like previously we had tried just juggling and balancing, using babysitters for a couple hours here and there, but like that doesn't work with my wife like working more now, and that's just simpler. But the other kind of overall like piece is I'm just worse at all of it than I would be if I wasn't doing some of the things. And like,
Yeah, you're so spread out.
yeah,
Basically.
you have to be okay with being a shitty student at times, being a someone in student orgs that like doesn't follow through with something on time sometimes, and do your best to communicate about that. And be willing to be bad at those first, so that you're not as bad as you could be at being that spouse, being that parent, because you're still going to be a little bit shittier at that too.
Yeah.
So
A lot of attention is paid to being a perfect parent. And there ain't no such thing anyway.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So don't try and like log into tutoring while making dinner. That was pointless, and that was a waste of time. I did that so much during first semester, like trying to listen to tutoring while making dinner, while they're bouncing off the walls with each other. Because I've got.
I thought you were delivering tutoring.
no.
That's crazy. That's
That would be great. Again,
Zach, you're providing us with a lot of great information here, but really the mac and cheese noises are not doing it.
Remember,
for us.
doing relatively or doing worse academically than maybe I could. So we'll see if I actually do tutor. Okay, but and like I've got a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, so like they bouncing off the walls with each other after having been at school, and then trying to do that and then try to get something out of that time instead of just trying to commit to one thing. Like multitasking is a trap that
It is.
I
Yeah.
don't think actually works.
No.
I kind of have a question for you. I feel like something that has come up with classmates lately is this kind of feeling that we're infantilized a little bit, like as med students. Like you just like feel like you're not a real adult. You feel like you like I don't know, you only do this thing, like everybody else in life is kind of like moving on. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's like true for you guys, or how would you say like that feels for you as someone who like you have kids, you have, you know, a spouse and that kind of thing. Do you treat med school differently or view it differently?
I think that's a y'all problem.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit.
I feel like a whole ass adult, but and
Like what?
a whole ass adult, and I don't, and not necessarily in a good or bad.
No.
Like this is good and bad.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, especially maybe if someone has come from like that temporary freedom of a gap year or whatever, and then back to like, no, I have like this schedule, and no, I can't just ask off for this, or no, I have to get more like, it's not PTO prepare the others, it's can I please reschedule this thing that I still have to do, and they're like, like, so that's that I can understand some there, but at the same time, I think it's mostly been like realistic to what you would encounter in a long-term career outside, and also that people are reasonable if you just ask them or talk to them about stuff. Yeah,
I will say, like, my 24-year-old self would probably feel the same. So like maybe it's like a time in your, like, in a lot of the like people in our class's life that like, when I was younger, I'm old now.
Which, how old are you?
Sure. I'm 29.
Okay.
30.
So
Yes.
I turned 25 in a month.
Oh, yeah,
there,
brother.
yeah.
I turned 25 on Tuesday.
Oh, happy birthday.
That's so cute.
Yeah. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
What a
You've
time.
been fantilizing.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
No, so I would say like, when I was younger, like 20, 24, 25, like I probably also felt the same, especially for like high school people that are people I went to high school with, people that I even went to undergrad with. I'm like, oh yeah, they're like moving on with their life, and I'm literally still in school. Like, because I also went and got my master's.
Yeah.
So like I've been in school for a long time, on and off, and so it's just very much like, wow, I'm a baby. But then like as you get older and like develop, you're like, I don't know. Now I'm old.
Your prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
yes,
kids.
Yes. Now I'm like,
Theirs just developed.
It's a
Like
bit
overnight.
It's about
On
like
Tuesday.
fine.
I heard
mostly.
something.
Yeah.
Like,
we're good. And so like I've just like also learned that there's more to life than just school, and
Yeah.
that's like an acquired
Yeah.
thing. I can't say that for everyone, but I can also understand why people, like some people, might feel that way for sure.
We're comfortable with our lifelong crippling addiction to education.
Yes, yes,
Y'all
rest of us are
y'all
not.
are in the
Yeah,
throes of
right.
it
yeah,
right now.
mhm,
Yeah.
yes. We've come to terms with the self-hate.
Eventually, one
Hey
day,
there.
we'll all be able to go cold turkey and just learn for fun as we work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you didn't
Forever.
catch it, they're still taking applications for the MD PhD program. If you're really
Wow, if I really hate myself, yeah.
I don't know.
okay.
It's a great deal if you really want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not putting it down. Just putting it down for myself.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Absolutely
sorry.
not.
Just for me.
What else should we tell Evan?
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just-
man.
I
I
feel
think
like
you just got to experience it, and I mean,
You can
you're already like partway through
Yeah.
your first semester in med school. I imagine that. I mean, you submitted this question a while ago, so maybe you don't have this question anymore. But for those other people out there, you just got to see what happens and make whatever adjustments to your life that you need to make, and you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that I think people can tell you, well, this is how I would adjust my life to compensate for all this new stuff that I'm doing. You've just got to see it and be like, oh shit, I got to get rid of something.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say as a first year, I guess I don't know when this was submitted. Like I don't know if this was like first couple weeks of school
August.
or
Okay.
So like
I think it was August.
I would
That was,
say
like, yesterday.
first semester, I mean for me at least, I'm pretty sure it was a pretty common experience, was hardest for most people. Maybe not like people
I was-
who took the clinical anatomy. Yeah, but like with
I'm not a good example.
anatomy and your other like courses and everything going on, and adapting to the increased workload of medical school, that is a very difficult time for, I think, everyone. And then add in a kid on top of it, like I don't know anyone who wouldn't struggle. In all honesty,
let's be clear, the kid is at the. I feel like for me, the kid would be at the center of everything that I do, with the understanding that sometimes I have to take a step back, or sometimes I have to take a step forward on that. So there are going to be sort of non-negotiables.
Yeah,
I think that you have to identify. Your kid and your family are, sort of non-negotiable. You can't really just say, well, no, I got to concentrate on this test. Go away, kid, you bother me.
Yeah, I think this is where we shout out the awesome spouse or like significant others. I think that definitely plays a role. Don't know if this person has, don't know that relationship, but I definitely could not do what I'm able to do without my husband for sure. So shout out, and shout out all the great significant others who are helping their person along.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, let's visit the SCP newsroom. I have no music to insert here.
There you go.
feels like that should be on the soundboard.
I mean, like I say, I'm working on it. I spent a good half an hour yesterday trying to come up with music to do that.
Yeah.
At the end, I was like, I can't. I have other jobs.
Had to learn to say no.
Yeah. Good.
All right, from the newsroom, let's say you need to breathe. But your lungs are injured. Maybe your breathing muscles are tired or broken. Maybe you just don't want to. Well, don't worry. Soon you may be able to breathe with your hiney. In 2024, the Ig Nobel Prize in Physiology was awarded to a group of researchers who discovered, and I'd like to know more about how this discovery took place, that mammals can reverse the farting process in order to respire. And this year, that group has completed a safety trial of enteral ventilation that demonstrates, hey, it doesn't hurt. So we've got this image I'm going to show you.
I didn't read about this beforehand. I was at Yo-Yo Ma last night at Hampshire.
Oh, I heard that was good.
It was
Fancy.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo Ma.
Yo-Yo Ma, you know.
Here's the image. And basically, I mean, my favorite part is this, which I imagine the departmental graphic designer
Had to have done.
just really had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, like,
You want me to draw what?
yeah, just to draw this IV going into a person's
Yeah.
butt.
Yeah. Let's talk.
And then
Self-
60 minutes later, they
Self-directed.
let whatever's in there out.
Self-directed excretion.
Yes, self-directed. So basically,
No vacuum on it.
The trial used a liquid called perfluorodecolin, which can carry lots of oxygen, ton of oxygen. When administered rectally, it was found to be safe and well tolerated. So the goal here is to give the lungs a break when they're broken, right, Zach?
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like a way to sort of still deliver oxygen without the pressure injuries and stuff that positive pressure ventilation causes to lung tissue.
Yeah, if you remember the COVID, the early days of COVID, I remember a lot of stories about, the problems with ventilation for people whose lungs are already kind of in a dicey situation, and all of the different things like prone. When they
They would like prone people, so putting them like
on their bellies,
stomach, instead
somehow lessens the
weight and the work of it and stuff, and to like help with some fluid drainage. Yeah. So instead we use fluid now, apparently.
Yeah. Well, as somebody who has been on a ventilator before, I would be like, yeah, please. But that would be fantastic. I guess future studies will see if this technique can actually help patients with respiratory failure. This is just a safety trial, so they were trying to figure out, like, is it going to cause more problems than it solves?
I want to know what the compensation was.
I also was going to say that. I also, who's that? Who was the cyclist that was the doping with the EPO.
Lance Armstrong.
This has Lance Armstrong doping all over it. I'm sorry, that was like my second thought. My first was, how much did this guy get paid? The second was, how many Olympians are going to start using this to like get, increase oxygen to their tissues?
Pre-oxygen.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, I didn't even go there.
I didn't until I was like, oh, wait a minute. This
All
has
right.
wait
Now,
a
honest to
minute.
God, my first thought was, well, I guess if farts can come out, oxygen can go in. Which last night, so I've had this on my reading.
You've been ruminating on it?
I've been ruminating on it for a while, and last night while I was thinking about
Ruminating.
this, I was like, wait a minute, that's not how
Thank you.
digestion works. The gas doesn't come out of the body into the digestive tract, at least not much, right? The farts are all a product of digestion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I admit I ran it by Claude. And Claude at first was like, yeah, that's a good idea, Dave, because Claude kisses my ass.
Yeah. Oh.
And then after a while, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, Claude. And Claude's like, that's a good point you made.
Wasting so much energy on niceties.
I know. Such a good point.
Here's the theoretical though. How much would you have to get paid to do this study?
That's what I mean.
$10 Amazon gift card.
$10.
Is what this guy is
$10.
what this guy
Raffle
got.
for $10. He was like,
Depends on what you like.
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
I do it for the love of the game.
Oh my god.
Also, I Googled this last night, just like so briefly, and
Yeah.
the article titles for anything reporting on this are so funny.
Oh yeah.
They're so funny. I can't remember any of them.
Sometimes
but
you can tell when headline writers are like, oh, this
yeah.
is I'm having a good
And like PubMed articles too. Like they were being creative with it.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
good for them.
Yeah.
Science is fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes funny.
And like
That's
there's
okay.
there's some real cool possibilities here, or so people on Reddit were telling me. Of like applying this for like neonates, like for really underdeveloped lungs, or to really reduce the injuries that come from like ventilating neonates and stuff too. So
Unfortunately, you can't really experiment on children.
yeah,
They do frown upon that.
yeah, that you're not allowed.
But
to do.
I mean, hey, good luck.
average it between the mouse model and the adult male model apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess some of my initial thoughts are some of the like different contraindications you're going to see for like patients this is going to be like
and
usable
tidal colorectal pressures or something like.
for. Yeah. Like think about it. Someone with like Crohn's or
Yeah.
ulcerative colitis or like
Yeah.
things like that. Like that's a whole
Or
other
how,
like
or how you're gonna cycle the fluid so that it's all constantly an oxygenated like amount
Yeah.
of perfluorodecaline.
Yeah, you're right. Because seems like it's or at least what they've tested is only like a
The
temporary,
volume.
or it's like a temporary, like, they only do it once. It's not like ECMO where it's like continuous oxygenation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point.
Temporary measure to
In-
help people who need whose lungs need a little bit of support. From
Right. Right. But like, I mean, how they kind of put it is that's how that is. But usually people who need help need it for longer periods of time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
got a
'Cause,
long
like,
way to go.
Yeah, it looks like their goal was to have like half a liter to a full liter. So like, how are you gonna like theoretically be evacuating that and then providing a new?
right.
Well, right.
dose
Like, is this
of it.
this person is awake? It looks like.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
so they're
It's that
like,
subjects were awake.
sedated,
It appears.
sedated, and then woken up, and then sedated again if they need it again. Yeah, I don't know.
Or
Or-
if it's like an unconscious patient that can't be awake. Like how do you
Can I just point out a little
Yeah.
something
yeah,
with this
yeah.
diagram?
Yeah.
So, they give the interrectal perfluorodecaline
Yep.
up into the butt. And then afterwards, there's 60 minutes later, there's a self-directed excretion.
Mhm.
And the image of this guy, he's sitting on top of a blanket.
I couldn't.
On top
I
of
couldn't
a toilet.
figure
weird.
that.
Yeah,
I
it
couldn't
is a
figure
bit
that out.
And I didn't read I confess when I read the article, I didn't read it closely enough to figure out why there was a sheet.
It was
do they collect?
very short. I did not pick that up from their method section.
Okay.
Which
See, this is the problem
Maybe
with
the
you
fluoro-
scientists.
Like fluorocarbons, maybe that they don't want it to be released into the air or something. I don't know.
So they put it in
Well,
a sheet?
they got to capture it. So
See, so what you're missing is that it's actually like one of those like filters. It's like a drip filter for a coffee, and it actually re-oxygenates the PFD there, and they can reuse it on the next patient.
Thank God Chase is here. I would have had no idea.
You missed that in the methods, I think, Dave.
It's like a nice pour over coffee.
That's exactly right.
Brown and everything.
We recently spoke with our financial aid guru, Chris Rowling, about the changes that are coming to paying for med school in 2026. Here's another change that may come someday to nonprofit schools like this everywhere. Free tuition, and not just for medical students. The Healthcare Workforce Expansion Act was introduced at the end of September by Senator Bernie Sanders and Senator Jeff Merkley, Sanders of Vermont and Merkley of Oregon, to address the massive shortage of doctors, dentists, and nurses in America. So this would make med school tuition-free for students who commit to practicing primary care for at least 10 years. It would make nonprofit nursing school tuition-free for any student who wanted to become a nurse. It would make nonprofit dental school tuition-free for students who commit to becoming general dentists in rural communities. It would also invest $5 billion in medical, nursing, and dental schools to increase enrollment, recruit and retrain faculty, modernize clinical and classroom spaces. It would add 50,000 new slots for residency programs, dedicating 30% to primary care and 15% to psychiatric residencies. And it would add 15,000 new community-based primary care residency positions. And $20,000 relocation grants to doctors, dentists, and nurses who agree to practice in rural communities. So, okay. It was just introduced. That's a lot of money. That I honestly can't fully expect to see any of this.
Yeah.
But
it's based on our current
idea.
situation.
I was going to say, the thought is there.
Yeah.
It'd be
Thought
cool.
is there.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
I love the I do love the optimism
Yeah.
Yeah.
in putting this proposal forward at this very moment.
Yeah.
And some of the think through
Yeah.
of like, not only are we going to remove barriers to school, but we're going to open positions in residency and then
Yeah.
in community.
Yeah, because I feel like every time we've heard stuff like this, it's
Yeah.
like, let's open a new school. And I'm like,
that's not going to
Oh,
do
yeah.
anything, if
We-
you only have 5 slots.
We started
for
like,
residency.
I don't know, I don't know if it was a month ago. I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago. What? Anyway,
Sorry.
A news article of like Mark Cuban saying something about like, oh, med school should be free or whatever. And that's like the end of his thought, like
Yeah.
into the fix the problem thing. But this was not like you kept going
yeah.
and going and going. And I was like, oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
has the follow through of it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, speaking of financial challenges, a study last month of 8 private med schools in the Northeast and Midwest found that 1 in 5 med students reported food insecurity, which is above the national average of 13.5% of households, which is too big anyway. Students from underrepresented backgrounds were disproportionately affected. Those with private loans were 15.43 times more likely to be food insecure. Students with federal loans were 3.29 times more likely, and students with Pell Grants were 3 times more likely. Rates varied from 16% to 31.9% across the 8 med schools surveyed. This is, again, private schools. This is private med schools, not public, but I mean, those numbers kind of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah. Was it like Pell Grant history? Like, because you can't get Pell Grants for med
You're not going to be able to
school.
get Pell Grants anymore. You're not going to be able to get grants anymore anyway, apparently. This is why
Yeah,
I'm like, this
yeah.
is why this story caught my attention, because
Yeah.
if
already with that.
schools are going to be capped at what, $200,000 for is that the cap that they're contemplating?
Per person maximum. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's not that's not the school being capped. That's like
That-
you.
That's
you
just
can pull
what I
federal-
can-
federal.
What
Yeah.
you can borrow
From the feds.
federally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
And they still can't eat
yeah.
even now.
So I don't know. Do you guys feel like you have you know people who might be food insecure at all?
I think there's a. I don't specifically, and that's got to be such an uncomfortable thing to be able to be
open about.
honest and open
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
because you're in this thing where we fake it to make it come clinicals, like all the times that you're not able to wear scrubs to clinicals, like it's just going to be an expectation that you have like appropriate professional dress that's, laundered, pressed, and like able to be worn to potentially dirty environments, or not wear back after a bed bug or scabies like case comes in or something. Let alone
Thought of that.
right. So to then admit, like, yeah, I had to skip meals because I needed to buy a new pair of slacks is
Yeah.
like not unrealistic to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who has personally like told me, but it's something that I would not be surprised to hear.
Yeah. I think
Unfortunately.
I think here they do a relatively good job with, like, if you do need more money, like Chris is like, come talk to me. Like, I will find you a way to get more money.
Yeah.
Like,
And I will say we have the benefit of living in Iowa, where, I mean, obviously
Exactly.
Iowa
Yep,
City is
yep, yep.
not cheap, but if you're
Yeah.
asking me about a private school, like a private in the Northeast, like I would say that we are very blessed here in the
Yeah.
sense of
our
cost of
and-
living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the price of just like regular groceries is like much more manageable.
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
And gas and
Yeah.
And I think part of being a public university too is that we're attached to the undergrad university, and they have a lot of things like clothing drives for professional wear. They have a food pantry that we can go to if we need it. They have like meal swipe programs that you can apply for. So there are, I think, some more of those like state funded resources, and I don't know what that looks like at private schools.
I just think the hardest thing about that is the need to go around and do the applications, and
Right.
go to the, like
And like find those resources.
Find
It's
those
been a big thing that I've
resources.
heard, even like with students at our school that like just don't know about them, and how that's something student government has been talking about, of like how do we disseminate that information to our student body in a way that like they'll actually find it and use it.
Because nobody reads their emails.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a folder that emails go to.
Yeah.
And it's not the inbox.
Yeah.
I know.
No,
I know.
yours go to my inbox.
Dave's high importance.
Appreciate that. It's bullshit, but I appreciate it.
But yeah, it like applications that get overly lengthy for things, like if you're at a private one and they don't have something within the university, within that medical school, then you're looking to go to state ones to ask for things, and sometimes those are extremely expansive or long and require you to fill out the whole thing, even for parts that like don't apply at all. So it's like pages of zeros or NAs, and then right before you sign, there's a big ol' like, here's this civil penalty for that you
For
definitely
fraud.
Yeah.
you definitely did it to the best of your knowledge. But then how do you go and prove when you didn't have money to buy food, later on have money to prove that you didn't have knowledge that you had done it incorrectly or whatever.
Yeah.
So then you get there and you're like, or if you've even paid the money to get it printed because you needed your money to go buy food.
I think the craziest thing about what you just said is the fact that there's a nun standing over your shoulder
taking photos.
taking photos.
What a vibe we have
She's
here.
always
Yeah.
watching.
She is always watching.
She's always
Where's your ruler?
over our back.
She's about to start smacking us on the hands. Go find a wooden ruler. I bet you guys have one. That'll
Oh God. Oh God.
happy Halloween.
Shortcoats, if you have something you want to say about any of these news stories, I'd love to hear from you about, maybe you know people who are food insecure. Maybe you have something to say about breathing with your butt. I want to hear about it. So go to theshortcoat.com/tell us and send us a message. Otherwise, that is our show. I'm Dave Etler saying, don't let their bastards get you down. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Adios.